What does tonight mean for Kawhi?
As far as I'm concerned, everything. It's a legacy game for him. Not if he wins, but if he loses. This would be very, very bad for Kawhi Leonard. Listen, he had 25 and 8 and 5 the last game, but he was a relatively modest 8 of 18 from the field. He had key turnovers. He missed shots he normally makes. They made mistakes he normally wouldn't in this game 6. And let me tell you something right now. With Denver being down 3-1 and playing the way that they played, coming back to tie this series 3-3. This is the time. I don't know if Kawhi Leonard has ever been under more pressure than he is tonight. Max calls him the cyborg, no emotion, etc., etc. Well, he better show up. He better show up, because if he doesn't, the basketball world is going to look at him significantly differently than we looked at him in the past. I'm not talking about win or lose. I'm talking about he has to show up. He has to play his lights out, because the kind of pressure he is on tonight is the kind of pressure we have put LeBron James on throughout his career. This is the first time I can recall Kawhi Leonard being in this situation where all eyes are on him. Like, yo, bro, what you gonna do? You the one that left to Toronto, the world champion Toronto Raptors, to go to the Los Angeles Clippers. You're the one that insisted that you wanted Paul George as your teammate, who dropped 33, by the way, the last game. Hit all 11 of his free throws, 4-9 from three-point range, even though he shot just 9 of 21 from the field, but still dropped 33. But he did his part. The point is, if you Kawhi Leonard, where you at? What you gonna do? Everybody's watching, because remember, in order for the Clippers to get Paul George, look at all those picks that they gave to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not to mention giving up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the process. So I'm looking at it from this standpoint. Yo, man, Kawhi Leonard got to show up tonight. Michael Porter Jr., the Joker, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris. Do you know, I mean, we talk about dudes other than Gary Harris shooting like 45% from the field. Jamal Murray shot 59% from the field. The Joker shot about 53% from the field. Michael Porter shot about 57% from the field. I mean, where's the defense? Where's the defense, Clippers? So listen, Doc Rivers is absolutely right. It ain't about no damn pregame speech. You know what you need to do. You know you had no business being in this situation, but here you are. And Kawhi Leonard, the man that's averaged 39 minutes a game last postseason, was averaging over 37, 38 minutes this postseason, all right, was playing lights out until a couple of games ago, up 3-1. Now it's 3-3. You 48 minutes away. You going to win and go to your first and take the Clippers to their first conference finals ever? Or is this yet another time that the Clippers are going to fall short of making it to the conference finals? I can bring up Doc Rivers in the 7 years, but I love Doc Rivers. I think he's a great coach, but you got to get to the conference finals. I can bring up Paul George, but hell, he's been showing up. Kawhi Leonard, this last game, he didn't. He on the clock. We're all watching. This is a legacy game for Kawhi Leonard. Not if he wins, because we expect that, but if he loses and he doesn't play well, Max, everybody's going to be looking at him differently. And I, for one, am not going to be looking at him, Max. I'm going to be looking at you tomorrow morning. Oh, I'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning. If Kawhi don't show up tonight, I'll be looking. I'm going to have an APB out on you from Twitter tonight, Max Kellerman, if Kawhi don't show up.
Well, that's right, because this is very simple. The history of the NBA is this. Among teams who get to a Game 7, right? That means you're evenly matched. I don't want to hear about it. You get to a Game 7, you're evenly matched. The team with the best player wins, almost always. Almost always throughout the history of the NBA, especially the modern history, the team with the best player will win the Game 7. Kawhi Leonard is supposed to be, according to me, the best player in the world, so he must win Game 7. There's one out, Stephen A. There's one out. If the Nuggets were somehow to go on to not only beat the Clippers, but also the Lakers, then we'd have to revise what we say, because LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard are the two guys left standing, because Giannis can't do it in the playoffs, and KD is hurt. Two guys left standing for world supremacy in basketball are LeBron and Kawhi as individual players. And if Kawhi loses a Game 7, LeBron is left standing alone. And he has either retained or regained his throne, depending on who you listen to. Because you might sit there and say, maybe rightfully, Max, you were always wrong. LeBron he never got anything taken from him. He was always the best. Maybe. But if the Nuggets go on to then beat the Lakers, now we have to have a different conversation. And this is a funky kind of year in the bubble. Weird things are happening. That said, that's in the future. Tonight, there's only one thing. Kawhi Leonard must be the best player on the floor. And if he is, the Clippers will win. And if he's not, they will lose. And I will have to shut up about Kawhi at least until the next series, depending on what happens there. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.